The Not Too Young to Run bill was passed by the National Assembly to alter sections 65, 106, 131, 177 of the Constitution. The alteration was to reduce the age qualification for president from 40 to 30, governors from 35 to 30, senators from 35 to 30, House of Representatives membership from 30 to 25, and state houses of assembly membership from 30 to 25. Fast forward to the November 2025, the 10th House of Representatives, through its Committee on Youth Development, is seeking constitutional alteration to reduce age qualification of Nigerians, especially the younger generation, for governorship and senatorial seats. This is our focus on this episode of the program Young Parliamentarians. I'm Joshua Oguchide, your host. Don't go away. Thanks for staying tuned. Let's begin proper with the report on the age limit bill itself. A bill seeking to reduce the age limit to 30 years for aspirants seeking election into the Senate and office of Governor of the state has passed second reading in the House of Representatives. The Constitution Alteration Bill, sponsored by Representative Martin Essen, received overwhelming support in a voice vote on the floor of the House. Let's get details from Mitai Ikmen.
From 35
the Constitution Alteration Bill seeking to reduce age qualification for election into the Senate and governorship seats is the brainchild of the House Committee on Youth Development, aimed at improving on the existing Not Too Young to Run Act to bring more youths into the country's governance structures. The proposal is to lower the age requirement for senators from 35 to 30 years and that of governors from 40 to 30 years.
If a member of this House at 25 years spends 2 terms in the House of Representatives, he will be 33 years, and he will still not be qualified to go to the Senate or to become a governor. So I think that this Honorable House should look into it.
Shortly after the second reading of the bill, the sponsor, member representing Iron Umbo Okobo Urwe Ofong, Oruko Udung Uko Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State, who doubles as the chairman of the House Committee on Youth Development, Martin Hessen, fielded questions from NTA Parliament News. Here, he identified the expected impact of the bill when passed into law, amongst other considerations. Let's hear him out.
At the committee level, we have been looking for ways to open up more opportunities for young Nigerians, bringing more seats to the table so that more Nigerians can partake in decision-making in their own country. Don't forget that Nigeria has a youthful population, in the sense that over 60% of the population of this country today are largely young persons between the ages of 30 and below. And at the committee level, we resolved to come with this bill. I'm just the lead sponsor of the bill. There are other 24 honorable members who are co-sponsors of this bill to alter the constitution to reduce the age for the membership of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the office of the governor of states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So what we are saying is it's very clear and practical to say that the age should be reduced from 35 to 30. Okay, because in the last assembly, the ninth assembly passed a piece of legislation tagged the Not Too Young to Run that saw the age ceiling being reduced from 30 to 25 for membership of the House of Representatives and membership of the state houses of assemblies. And I felt that normally there should have been a consequential increase on the office of the membership of the Senate and office of the governor, and even up to the president. We saw that piece of legislation is not done, and we ought and agreed that in the 10th Assembly we should bring it forward. Like I said on the floor of the House, the scenario we have today is such that a member of the House of Representatives who comes into the House at 25 by the provisions of the Not Too Young to Run Act, which is now a law, even if he spends 2 terms in the House of Representatives, he can still not contest for the position of a senator, to be a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He can also contest to be a governor of any state of the Federation. Because if you come in at 25 and you do 2 terms of 4 years each, and that takes you to 8 years, you'll probably be 33, and you can still not qualify. But I think that gap needs to be closed. Now, for me, this bill is going to drive 2 things for young Nigerians: inclusion and participation. Every day, young Nigerians are clamoring to be included in the scheme of things, decision-making in this country, and participation. So this bill just targets those 2 demands of young Nigerians, in the sense that more young people will now be qualified to run for these offices. That single piece of legislation in the 9th Assembly brought in over 40 members into the House of Representatives. And you can now see how vibrant the House of Representatives is. And no House of Representatives since 1999 that I know about have passed more bills like this House, this 10th Assembly, under the leadership of Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. No assembly has moved more motions and even done more oversights than this assembly. So you can see what young people bring to the table: energy, vibrancy, and what have you. So we just want to extend that to the other offices. Don't forget that this proposal is not standing on its own. This proposal is an offshoot of an existing piece of legislation, an existing law. Today, to be in the House of Representatives, you just need to be 25 years of age. And to be in the State Houses of Assembly, you need to be 25 years of age. So are you saying now that somebody who comes to the House of Representatives, or somebody who's in the State House of Assembly and is able to do 2 terms, for instance, in each of those houses, will not have the experience to become a senator, or will not have an experience to become a governor? I don't think so. If you look at other climes, you will see that what we are proposing is global best practice. It's not something that is just limited to Nigeria. I can give you instance of France. The president of France, I don't want to mention his name, you know, at the age he became president of a country like France. So I don't think inexperience will be a limiter here, because if you say a 25-year-old is qualified to be in Parliament at the state level or in the House of Representatives, I think such person can also have an experience to go to the Senate and also become a governor. So it's very straightforward. I would tell young Nigerians to prepare themselves for the opportunity that is coming, okay? Because even if opportunity comes and there's no level of preparedness, there cannot be success. I have a personal mathematic formula. When I say when opportunity meets preparedness, opportunity plus preparedness is what brings about success. So I will ask Nigerians, young Nigerians particularly, to take advantage of this piece of legislation that we are trying to drive in the House, and for them, they should support it, and they will be better for it. So they should prepare. I know that Nigerian youths are very experienced. We have very experienced youths. Go to the banking sector, you see Nigerian youths doing a lot of great stuff there. Go to the entertainment industry, you see the Nigerian youths making their mark there. In almost all facets, the Nigerian youths have distinguished themselves, and I don't think this will be an exception. And even in this government now, you see that there are a lot of young persons are in government. So this is really youth o'clock. Okay, so it's time for the Nigerian youths to rise up and take their own destinies and progress in their own hands.
We'll now pause for some messages. The program returns shortly. Do stay with us.
In every chamber, in every hall, a voice rises to speak for us all. Our parliament, our power. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy. Watch us on DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, Free TV on channel 706, and Star Times on channel 306.
In case you're just tuning in, the program you're watching is Young Parliamentarians showing on NTA Parliament, Abuja. You can join the conversation on the social media platforms showing on your screen. Moving on, up-and-coming legislators across the geopolitical zones of the Federation also lend their voices on the constitutional alteration for the reduction of age qualification to allow more youthful participation in the decision-making process. To some, the bill signals a renewal of hope for more youth inclusion and participation in governance and, by extension, politics in and outside their various constituencies.
This bill is a step in the right direction. Indeed, a welcome development. For instance, I was elected into the Ogun State House of Assembly at just 26 years old. That election made me the youngest lawmaker in Nigeria. I was chosen as the minority whip of the assembly. Of course, these positions have exposed me not just to legislative process, but also afforded me some form of leadership skills. It would be unfair to say that an individual cannot contest or aspire because they are not yet 35 years old for either governor or senate because of some age barrier, no matter the ideas, policies, and programs they may have for their people. So I think it is fair that this bill, which is before the Constitution Review Committee, if and when it comes to the state assemblies, I strongly believe that it will get the needed third concurrence without much ado. That is the way to go, so that Nigeria is not left out of the Committee of Dynamic Youth-Friendly Nations. This will allow the youth to take a more active role in the leadership and runnings of our dear country. I therefore fully support this bill.
It's a very good one, and I really want to appreciate the kind of legislators we're having in Nigeria now, especially in the aspect of not too young to run. Myself, I was a beneficiary of this not too young to run policy bill that was passed during the tenure of the late President Muhammadu Buhari. I was able to contest the last general election for Abuja South Federal constituency. Had it been that bill was not passed and was not approved, I would have had the opportunity to have contested in this just concluded and in this 2020 general election. So it's a good one because there are so many vibrant youths out there. They are egghead, they are ideological, they have things to dish out for the betterment of the country. We have so many youths out there, they are agents of developmental changes, but all what they need is a platform for them to give back to the community, to make things go well and happen well in the country. So reducing this age will really help more vibrant youth to come on board, to represent their constituencies and to govern their states. So personally, as the Speaker of the Nigerian Youth Representative Assembly, on behalf of all Nigerian youth, I am saying kudos to the National Assembly, and I hope the bill is being approved, is being passed by the National Assembly and being approved by the Presidency.
Education and exposure in connection with what obtained in the past and the present day in Nigeria were explored. The role of digital technology, cryptocurrency, as well as artificial intelligence can also not be overemphasized.
The recent bill proposed by the National Assembly to reduce the age limit for aspirants vying for the position of governor and senator of the Federal Republic to 30 years of age is indeed commendable. As we all know, young people have faced different economic, political, and institutional barriers, limiting their participation at both the federal and the state levels. Before the passage of the Not Too Young to Run bill, which pegged the age limit for the state and federal representatives into 25, and then the senator, governor, and the presidential seat at 35, young people faced more barriers in their political participation. And even from our political parties, we usually find out that young people are usually limited to the position of the youth leader, which is majorly aimed at mobilization, not decision making of the party. So with this recent bill, we believe more young people will be participating in the political atmosphere. And especially here in my state, Gombe, I believe that will be of immense advantage. The Gombe State Parliament, which I lead as the speaker, has been doing a lot of things to see that we mobilize, organize, and orient young people on their civic responsibility. And going forward into 2026, we are going to, orient them on the importance of voter registration and political participation to see that they are part and parcel of the decision-making process. So as I started discussing, once this bill is passed into law, we believe it will encourage more young people to participate in the decision-making. We really need the energy, creativity, and resilience of young people, and through institutional means, policies, we are limiting young people, but the more we have such favorable policies which will encourage youth participation, the more we can be able to tap the hidden potentials young people have within their own mindset and their thought process. Because for young people, yes, we believe their energy and their mindset is the greatest asset which this country needs. One commentator observed that Nigeria's greatest resources is not oil or mineral, rather it is the energy and creativity of young people. The more we have such favorable institutional, political, and economic policies, the more we see young people participate.
Nigeria is destined for greatness, and nothing, even the current challenges we are passing, will be thing of the past. So nothing can stop the greatness of this country. And the greatness of this country is not only for Nigerians alone, it's for the entire black race. Like I said, the day Nigeria rises, the entire black race will not be the same. And if you study the system very well, you'll find out that young people are more ready, let me put it that way, because young people knows what is going on. They know more of what is going on in terms of the economy, in terms of education and all that. And our so-called politicians, the elderly people, during their time, they enjoy this country better than even we, the young people, because at that time, to get an education, it's very easy and mostly it's free. Today, education is difficult. To get education today, you have to tighten your belt very well. Yes, that's true. And I used to tell people that the greatest problem of humanity is that if you don't have those coming behind to sustain what has been done, then all that has been done is lost. Frankly, it's lost. Today, we are progressing as a nation. Despite the challenges, we are progressing, and Nigeria will be better, Nigeria will be greater, because I believe in this country.
However, lack of required resources in terms of funding poses a great threat to the fruitfulness of the bill when passed into law. More so, the emphasis on gender equality cannot be undermined.
This actually it's a welcome development for us, especially the youth in Nigeria. It's coming at a time when the youth have understood that yes, the progress of this nation lies upon us, and then the youths are willing to take responsibility and vie for elective positions, especially in the forthcoming election. Here in Adamawa State, you can see people, especially the youth, are trying to vie for elective positions into the State House of Assembly, and also House of Representatives, which is good because at a younger age, it is believed that you do well, your brain functions well, and you come up with new innovations, you're coming up with a new mind and creativity into it. So it's a good development for us, the youth. This is an opportunity for us to grab and participate in politics. Looking at we the women in this particular area, we are also supposed to take part in the politics of our regions and constituencies. But we face, I would say, few challenges, especially the funding. Women are always faced with that particular challenge of funding. They don't have money to run for those elective positions. Also, women in this region face this disadvantage of being rejected, not accepted. Women are believed in this part of the country to be housewives. They are not supposed to come out publicly. But research has shown recently that women do well when being entrusted with public offices. So I'm calling on the women to grab this opportunity and to support this bill that it's ongoing to actually reserve some seats, especially for women. Let's take this opportunity. We are supposed to be part of policy making so that we can also contribute our quota to the development of our nation, our societies, and then what have you.
We as youths are much so delighted with this because it gives us an ample opportunity to be part and parcel of the policy building, the lawmaking of the society in which we culminate up to 70% of the population. As young Nigerians, it's an opportunity for us to air out our views because we will be having more number of seats, we'll be having more representation in the coffers of power. We're not just delighted because we'll be there, but we're happy because we'll be having an ample opportunity to contribute. We have the energy, we have the initiatives, we have the innovative minds, we have all it takes to build this nation and contribute to its success. So having a bill of this magnitude gives us great joy because we are having a wider door, we're having a more proportion in representation. Now, we are not just actually supporting this bill for the age /down, but we're also seeking that it should be reviewed to capture the financial demands that are attached to some of these offices. You must have a certain amount of millions to be able to contest. The burden of the resources that it's needed for us to be able to man up to some of these offices are quite demanding, and we lack the strength as young people to be able to meet up with the standards. Therefore, if this will also be captured in the bill, it will go a long way. Furthermore, I would want to also advocate that the reservation of seats for gender equality or gender sensitivity be given a high consideration. Much women should be given a place, seats be reserved for them to be able to come and contribute their own quota, air out their own views while the laws are being made, while the policies are being formulated. I think it will bring about more inclusivity. We have the youthful energy and then we have the feminine perspective. I think we're going to be having a better lawmaking system running in our country. And I can assure you that when we have laws that captures the interest of the majority, it showcases that the majority are in support of the law, and that will go to show that we would support the law to always be implemented. Finally, I would want to encourage that every young leader out there give out their submissions, give out their voice, and throw out their support to see this bill. We urge the National Assembly, both the Green and Red Chamber, to swiftly implement this bill and send it to the President for ascension, thereby implementing it in the 2027 general election. That is, it will be captured in the Electoral Act.
We know that the bill has passed second reading just recently, and I will strongly align with it because the bill, it strengthens the whole Not Too Young to Run movement by removing one barrier that has long limited young people from contesting this Senate and governorship seats. Secondly, it also helps to expand our national leadership pipeline by allowing young people to come into this position. You go to the Senate, you see a lot of members there. They are former governors, former House of Rep members. Most of them are aged. Very few people there are young. Very few members. So, young people across Nigeria, they are doing very well in technology, in business, in academics, in civil leadership, even globally. So giving them this constitutional access to access these higher offices allows that talent to contribute directly to governance. And thirdly, it also injects fresh thinking into policy making, because some of today's challenges like youth unemployment, climate change, digital innovation and regulation, all these things, they demand the perspectives of a generation that is living with these realities, which are the youths of today. And it also enhances the democratic representation, with young people making up majority of the country's population. My state, for example, young people make up the bulk of the population in Edo State. It is only fair that the age limit of being eligible to contest for such positions is reduced. And normally everything that has an advantage also has a disadvantage. And some of the disadvantages that I've seen for this age reduction or lowering the age, it does not automatically guarantee readiness of young people to run for leadership. Leadership at the Senate or gubernatorial level requires a lot of competence, character, experience, and maturity. And these are qualities that needs to be earned. It does not just come with being youthful. You understand? Then there is another demerit, which is something that is really, really bothering me. This is another opportunity for a lot of political godfathers to start positioning younger proxies. Some other politicians, they'll start establishing political dynasties, bringing their children into governorship, bringing their children into the Senate. You understand? So these kind of actions are going to undermine the true intention of this bill, which is inclusivity, taking the inclusion board. Then another challenge or demerit in this matter is the issue of finance. Nigerian elections, especially party primaries, have been greatly monetized. Most of us youths, we are not too young to run, but we are too broke to run. We don't have the kind of monies that are required to make these things happen, to win party primaries. The cost of nomination forms, the cost of campaigns.
I believe that as a country, it is time that we wake up to new reality, new modern democratic practices across the globe, because I have come to realize that in different countries, it is a fact that in different countries of the world, younger people are being encouraged by law, by policy, are being encouraged to be more actively involved in politics and governance. Say the likes of the United States Congress, to be a senator, you need to be around the age of 30. The United Kingdom House of Commons, once you are 18, you can be in the house and make motions, propose bills, and the like. So I believe this is a new time. These times are changing really fast. This is a new era. We need to, as a country, to start shifting, to start moving to that new reality. Because as a person, I strongly believe that the legislative arm is a very strong arm of government that shapes what the future of a country looks like. Take, for example, the laws guide the states. The laws dictate what the president does, what the chief justice of the country does, what each and every citizen, every agency and parastatal of the government looks like. All of this thing boils down to the legislative arm of government, boils down to the National Assembly, the Nigerian Senate, the Nigerian House of Rep. So this is a new reality. this work is cumbersome. You have to be vast, you have to be in line with the new technology, you have to be in line with the new reality to be able to make laws that speak into this reality, talk about what, and this is not a sub, what are the things that a 70, 80-year-old, there are very little amount of 50-year-olds that can talk about AI. Take for example a 50-year-old person in the Nigerian Senate or Nigerian House of Rep needs to do actual work, like very stressful job, to be able to come up with bills, with policies around AI, because this is not their reality, this is not their life. They are used to certain things and certain way of doing things. But AI is our everyday life. We use it. This is what we do. This is what we use. This is our new reality. We should know which law we can put in place to checkmate these tools, these technological advancements. Which law we can put in place to checkmate them, what law we can put in place to see that we can use them effectively, and what laws we can put in place, what policy, how do we regulate these new technologies. These should be things that should be discussed in the Nigerian Senate, and I believe younger people are better people to discuss that. And what I also believe that in a country where more than half of the population is below 30, to pick the real representation, to pick the real representative of such a country, you have to come down from 30, you have to come to the ages of 30 below, because if you are not 30 below, you do not fall to the bracket of more than half the population. So you should be able to speak about the reality of people, about the life, about what they do, their challenges every single day. So that is why it is important for younger people to come forward, to hold political positions, to be active in governance. So what else do we have? I believe most of the problems in this country are youth related. These problems affect youth the most. These problems are being caused by youth. We should not shy away from the truth that 60, 70, 80-year-old person will not be a bandit. A 50-year-old man will not even be a terrorist, kidnapping or just going about after people's lives for no reason. These things are things that youth does most of the times, although we can say under the influence of people older than them, but the action are being carried out by young persons. So if a young person is the Inspector General of Police, the bandit is a young person too, they think alike. This is 21st century. What would someone that we grew up together, what would be in their head, what would they be thinking? And it makes things easier. It makes us know how to counter terrorism in the country more. It makes us understand what technological appliance, what technological tool to use to go against them. So I believe this is the time of the youth. This is a new era. The current age limits and the age requirements that we have in a country was put in place in an era whereby you have to be 30 before you graduate from the university. You have to be 35 before you have your first shop or your first business. But now you are 20 and you are done with your first degree. You are before 30, you have 2 master's degree, you have a startup on your name, you have other businesses scattered across the world. So I believe this is a new time. The world is faster now. When you wake up in the morning, before you say your prayer, it is night time. So this is a faster time. We need to bring in people that grew up in this generation, in this fast era, to actually attend to these issues of this fast era, because I believe only a person whose reality resonates greatly with this era can actually make policy or govern people, lead people right in this same era. So, and I believe that political participation will be on the rise amongst the youth. We are more than half of the population of the country. If we are told, oh, you can become the governor of your state, I know a number of young people below 30 who would run for governor if it is brought down to, if the age limit is reduced. Strong people, solid people with organic support and very sharp intellect. So I believe political participation will be on the rise, because this has to do with the largest demography of the Nigerian population.
This is where we draw the curtains on this episode of the program Young Parliamentarians. Remember, you can watch this episode and other programs on the online channels showing on your screen, as we look forward to receiving your comments and observations. And join us on this same channel next time. Once again, I'm Joshua Oguchide. Thanks for watching, and God bless you. Bye for now.